here with another tutorial. This time's a summery look. As you can see, it's a very bold look, dramatic. Not for the everyday person, but it's very bold. And I really like it. I loved how it turned out. I had lots of fun doing this, so if you want to really see how I came up with this whole combination here that we get, please carry on watching. Bye! Hi everyone, so yeah, I'm going to start with my eyes, and yes, I broke out, sadly. So to do this colorful eye look, I must use an eye base, and I am using a white one so the colors pop out a lot more. This is the NYX white eyeshadow base, or something like that. I don't even remember what it's called. Next I'm setting it with this like bone colored shadow just on the top half, like from the crease upwards, and then with the yellow from the BH Cosmetics. I'm using the BH Cosmetics 120 what was it called? It was the 122nd edition palette, and I'm using those colors freshly on the base so they pop out and they stay longer, and so they're more vibrant and opaque. And I'm just putting them on really messily at first, and the next color up is the pink one, as you can see there. I'm putting them on really messily, just touching my crease a slight bit because I will be smudging upwards to blend everything out. Next I'm putting more orange on the actual orange and slightly drying it onto the pink, and that's how I like to blend them, so there's like more I don't know, a clean blend without the colors fading too much. And I do that for every single color, and then I start blending upwards a little tiny bit. So as you can see here, I'm dragging the yellow and then I'm smudging now to blend everything a bit upwards, and so everything's clean. I smudge it a tiny bit, not too much, because then all the colors will fade away and it will not look pretty. I'm using the Naked palette brush, the ones that come in the Naked palette. I really like them for packing on these shadows since it has two sides and I could use them nicely. And the other side I'm using it to smudge, as you can see. So I'm packing on the pink again, smudging again, and you keep on repeating the things. Right now I'm making the pink into a more angled shape because I am going to be putting wing liner, a baby wing. So I am winging it out a little tiny bit. So as you can see, I continue packing on the colors until I get the desired effect, and next I'm putting the inner corner, like highlight per se. It's a sparkly kind of metallic-y yellow, unlike the one I put on my eyelid that was completely matte. And next I'm highlighting my brow bone with another more yellow toned matte shade. And now with this round smudger brush, I'm smudging upwards so everything becomes more faded now that I've got the inner corner highlight. Next I'm doing my eyeliner, and it is the Essence liquid liner with the soft felt tip pen or something like that. I really like it. It's quite easy to use. It's nothing like I've used before, but it's quite easy to use. And here I take forever, and I'm terrible at doing wing liner on camera, so I had to cut off a few parts, but here's basically how I do it. I'm just doing a tiny baby wing. For me, it's so satisfying to look at wing liner when they join, and they join the cat eye line and they start filling everything in. It's so satisfying. So as you can see, I'm terrible doing this on camera because you can barely see it. You can see like my whole head except what you actually need to see, the liner. And these are the lashes I'm going to be applying. They're double stacked lashes. They're two lashes stacked together. And with a clean blending brush, I'm smudging everything and making sure everything's blended the way I want it. Now these are lashes I'll be using. I don't even remember which ones I used. They're just a pack I got, and I just stacked them together, and I'm like, oh yeah, they look nice. And I was reusing them. You can reuse these quite a bit. I'm using the Duo Invisible Lash Glue and the Pupa Vamp Waterproof Mascara. The one I always use. It's become one of my favorites. I really, really like it. It's my staple mascara right now. Next, I'm doing my brows, so I'm combing them upward and filling them in with a powder. Yeah, my brow game tends to change up a bit, but I always go back to powder. I think powder is like one of the most natural and bold looks, to say so. I really like how powder looks on my brow, so I always go back to it. So yeah, I'm just defining my brow and fading it out a tiny bit at the front. And combing through and making sure everything's the way I want it. And yeah, at the end I did put the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel, but I forgot to film it. And this is how the brows look. Next, I'm using the Nivea Post Shave Balm on my face to prime my face before my foundation. And also the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer on my T-zone. And on the breakout especially, and on my cheeks where I have larger pores. Next up, I'm using the Nars Sheer Glow Foundation with the Body Shop Lightening Drops to get my custom shade, since the Nars Sheer Glow is a bit too dark for me right now. I used a big drop there, and I'm doing it by zones on my face. So first I do my cheek, and then I blend it out with a damp sponge, and then I will do the rest of my face. So yeah, here I'm blending, then I'm putting on my nose, my chin, so I see as zones, so the foundation doesn't dry out too much and oxidize before I can blend it, and it's too hard to blend. So yeah, I continue blending and blending. And I also put down a little bit my neck, down on my neck, because I want it to blend everything out and for it to look nicely and faded and not to look like a mask. Next, I'm going to do contouring, and I'm using jojoba oil with the BH Cosmetics 10 Camouflage Concealer Palette thing. And I'm using the lightest yellow toned shade. And I'm using it to use it as concealer and to highlight all the high points of my face. So here are my attractive faces, and I'm putting it on the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, on my chin, sorry I forgot the name, on my chin, and yeah. Next, I'm using a bit of a darker shade. It's still yellow toned, and I'm going to make it blend out a little bit more with my foundation. So as you can see, that's more of my foundation color, and it blends out a lot more evenly. So yeah, here I'm highlighting my nose with that shade so it doesn't look way too bright, and it evens out the highlights. Then I'm going to blend everything out with the Real Techniques contour brush, I think. So yeah, I'm just blending out the edges with that brush for it to look really flawless. With the hard spots to reach in my face, I use a tiny sponge to blend everything in. So as you can see, as I'm blending everything in, it looks really nice and smooth. And now with that warm shade, I'm going to use it as bronzer, not as contour, because I think it's way too warm for me to contour with that. So I like to use it as bronzer to bronze up my face a little tiny bit. So as you can see, I locate it a little bit higher than I would with the contour shade, and I go really high with this shade on my forehead so I could blend it down, because it's really pigmented, and once you blend it down it can get everywhere, so you have to be really light-handed with this. And with this medium shade, I use it for my nose contour, because I think the other shade I used as a bronzer is way too dark, as I said, for contour, and especially on the nose, it will look like two stripes. So I like doing that for a more natural shadow around my nose, and to slim it down. Next, with this brush, I'm going to be buffing out all the bronzer. As you can see, it can get a bit everywhere, so that's why I use a little tiny bit. So I'm buffing everything out. So as you can see, I think it's way too dark for contouring. Next, with the same brush I used to blend out the concealer, I'm going to blend out the bronzer so it looks a bit more natural and not too stark. And with this pinky shade, it's going to be my blush, and I'm going to draw two cute little hearts on my cheeks. Oh, so cute. Yeah, I like playing around when I'm contouring. I look like a little China doll. Well, obviously with big bold eyes. So yeah, blend everything out with the same brushes I used for everything else. And then with a teeny tiny sponge, I'm going to blend the nose contour and the concealer right in my inner corner of my eye, where it's hard to reach, and around my brows, so I don't mess up my brows. So here, yeah, I'm not messing up my brows, and I really like it for blending. It's also damp. I just felt the need to say that. And now I'm baking. I really don't remember which powder I'm using to bake, but I will list the name of the powder I'm using to bake in the description box down below. So yeah, I'm basically baking my entire face, because since I want this makeup to last, I usually touch my chin and my jaw a lot, so that's what I'm baking. I normally bake under the eyes only and the sides of my nose, because that's where it tends to get oily and where I get some creasing. But here I'm just cleaning up the contour. And I'm going to basically do my whole jaw, my forehead, the top of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and everything. So yeah, the chin, so nothing moves. My weird faces, I make really weird faces when I'm baking and when I'm putting mascara. So yeah, my forehead. And next, after about 30 minutes, I left it on because I went to grab a snack. I came back and I wiped off the bakage with a big fluffy brush, and being very careful under my eyes with these enormously and wonderful attractive faces I do. So yeah, take everything off. I just brush it away. And next, I'm bronzing up my face, so I'm setting the contour, well, the bronzer, the cream bronzer I used with a powder, and I'm using a dual fiber brush, and I'm just slightly bronzing up my face, not too much because I already had the initial color on. I'm making it look a lot better. And next, with this shade, I'm actually contouring, because this is a really gray based. It has a gray undertone, so it's nice. It's a nice contour shade, but it's very pigmented, so I have to be very light-handed, as you can see, and I grab almost nothing on my brush. Next, I'm doing my nose contour with the same exact shade. I'm sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Yeah, so I'm doing the nose contour, and I like doing it, as you can see, I put the brush sideways, and I start buffing it with the slightest amount of powder. You don't need, you need barely anything, and that's how I like to contour my nose. Next, using from this VH Cosmetics Contour and Blush Palette, I'm using that blush shade, and I'm blushing up my cheeks to get some color back. And next, to buff everything out and for everything to look flawless, I use some compact skin colored powder, and I just buff everything in and it makes it look much more flawless. And next I'm highlighting my face, and the same tip I used in my last video. I use the same highlighter, it's my favorite highlighter. I spray some rose water with glycerin, and then I wait for it to set a little bit for it not to be way too damp to move my foundation around. So I wait for that, and then I start applying my highlighter on the high points on my face, so I look like a Tin Man. And as you can see, I'm enjoying it. It's wonderful. I love it so much. It's my favorite part of putting makeup on. Highlighting. So yeah, the Cupid's bow. I did a little tiny bit on the tip of the nose. So next I'm going back with my under eyes now that the powder has set and everything. I can put powder on it again. And I'm basically doing what I did on the top. It's just I grabbed yellow and I grabbed pink. I did not grab orange, and I just blended those two together, and I put the same mascara I used on my top lashes. I'm putting them on my lower lashes. I have to be very careful because it's very fat. Now here I give you the first nude lip option. It's like a very nude, since I already have bold eyes, it's a nude lip color by the brand Cailyn. I really don't know how to pronounce it, but I really like their liquid lipstick. I've got a few already in my collection. Of course not. Of course I'm going to go bolder. So yeah, I grabbed this orange, vibrant orange. I really like this one. It is very, very, very bold, and it's quite runny. These lipsticks are quite runny, but I really like that because it gives you some time to play around with them. And, well, you can layer them. That's what I really like about these. You can play around with them, and you can put 2 different liquid lipsticks or the same color, reapply them 2 times, but no more than that. And yeah, I really like this look. They are very long lasting, and I hope you like the video. Bye! Hi guys, welcome back. I'm finally back. I'm so glad to be back. I just said back about 50 times. Yes. Woo.